Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when things go sideways for the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So things usually go sideways for the narcissist throughout their whole life. And it's usually because they try to drive wedges between relationships, not only with themselves, but with anyone they surround themselves with. This is why the narcissist usually keeps little groupies, little bubbles of people, alleged people that are from high school or from past time periods that you never knew about, but yet these people would pop up left, right, and center, and the narcissist would say, oh, you remember that person? Remember I told you I went to high school with them? Or that's so-and-so, you know them, you met them at such and such a party or barbecue, and you're like, I don't know who this person is, I've never heard of them, but you're being a little too cordial and or close with them. And you're scratching your head and you're saying, what's going on? But what do? You give them a mulligan, you let them go. You believe that the narcissist is telling you the truth. You believe in the mask and you believe in the narrative. And the reason why you did that back then was because you were trapped in the narcissistic fog. You didn't know what was going on. You were working for the narcissist. You were working for the relationship. But when things go sideways for the narcissist, it's when people start to understand who this person really is. They understand that the narcissist is not who they claim to be. And people or friends or colleagues or associates of the narcissist for 5, 10, 20, 25 years, they eventually wake up. Not everybody, but a lot of people eventually wake up and they say to themselves, wow, this person's behavior is not matching their words. And why did they have so many relationships that only lasted a short period of time? And why was it when I got introduced to some of their friends a couple of times after I saw them, they weren't treating me properly? It's all of the things that the narcissist does, all the manipulation, the smear campaign, the gaslighting, the stonewalling, the silent treatment, the isolation. The narcissist was always in competition with you, I will tell you right now, from the minute they met you until the minute that relationship ended, and probably even afterwards. They look at people as opportunities. They look at people as weak, frail. They look at your empathy and love as a weakness, which is not the truth. The truth is it's actually a superpower. If you have the ability to love and you have empathy, you are an amazing, beautiful, bright, shining light. You are a very powerful person. And the narcissist saw this in you and they tried to weaponize it against you, and they succeeded for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship. And then your relationship ended. Whether you were discarded or you ended it yourself, you had to put yourself back together. But things go sideways for the narcissist because they always overplay their hand. They always believe that they're smarter than you. They believe that they will pull one over on you. They believe you will never figure them out. They believe that you will stay stuck in the trauma bond. They believe that you will stay stuck in the narcissistic fog. They believe that you will endure the toxicity for a lifetime. This is what the narcissist banks on. And that is also why they go from relationship to relationship, person to person, business to business, country to country, and then look for unsuspecting people to glom onto and to take advantage of. But when the people and or the supply sources run out, when they dry up, because these sources will dry up for the narcissist. And you may say, well, Andrew, what are you talking about? There are so many people on the planet. Why would the sources dry up? I'll tell you, I'll give you a prime example. Let's say the narcissist is living in a small community or town. Well, there's a good chance that they've blown up many relationships there. And yeah, right now it may seem like the narcissist is living their best life and everything's going great for them. But the toxicity of the relationships that they've been a part of and blown up, and the manipulation that they administered to those people in those relationships, it catches up with the narcissist. It sincerely manifests itself in mental issues, physical issues, financial ruin, and their relationships being destroyed. One of the key things the narcissist never wants to have happen is for them to be discovered. They never want anyone to deduce who they are. They don't want people to put two and two together and say, wait a minute, this person is using people, they're abusing them, they're manipulating them, and they just go on to another person so quickly. What's going on? So using the example, what I shared there is using that person in a small town, the word gets out. And what people end up doing is they end up figuring out what's going on, that this person, I'm not saying that they're going to figure out they're a narcissist, but what they're going to figure out is, hey, this person breaks people's hearts and destroys relationships. And this person is not good. They're not stable. They have rage fits. They want other people to spend their money on them. They're trying to wear clothes of 20 or 30 years ago. They're acting like they're 20 when they're 50, 60, 70, 80. They are not stable. They're not rational. Something is off with these people. And when that word gets around, then the narcissist usually gets discovered, not for being a narcissist, but they get discovered that, hey, people don't want to be around them. So what happens? That's when they usually have to pack up and move. Like a vagabond or a gypsy. They have to go to a different part of the city, state, town, or country because they have to start brand new. Using the same example, this is the same thing with their houses. Think about the narcissist. How many houses or apartments did they live in? They are moving so frequently, virtually every year, or sometimes a couple times a year. And I do mean that. And the reason why there is because they're not welcome where they were living. People discovered who they were. They need to be on the run. They need to disappear like a cockroach in the kitchen at midnight when you turn the light switch on. They need to keep going. Another reason the narcissist can't sit still. Think about that. Imagine, if you will, from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, your mind is spinning 24/7 on how to occupy your time because you don't want to be authentic or genuine and introspect into your mind. You don't want to be accountable for your poor behavior. You don't want to have to face the music and face the facts that you're a toxic individual and that you can't sit still and you need to be occupied. You need to have something going on in the background. You need to have somewhere to be going to. You need to have a fire to either create or put out. You need to either be the victim or the hero. This is the black and white mentality of the narcissist. There is nothing in a gray area. It's either all or it's nothing. Think about this. When you were in a relationship with the narcissist, did you give to a fault? Were you a people pleaser? Were you a yes person? Did you have boundaries? Could you say no, the strongest word in the English language? You should answer all those questions. Drop comments below. I can tell you one thing. When the narcissists sank their dirty fangs into you, they knew what they did to you. They knew that they could extract your energy slowly, insidiously, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, until your resources became too decimated and depleted, or your health ailed, or their number one thing, your money, your bank account went to zero, and then they glommed onto a new source of supply. Think about it. Think about also another one. Let's say you were married to the narcissist. You got divorced. What did they do many times? Not always, but what did they do many times? They relocated in your little town or city close to you, didn't they? Yes, they did. Now, why do you think they would do that? Well, there are many different reasons why they would do it. I'll share a couple with you. One reason would be because they know that if they move around the corner from you, or a block from you, or a mile from you, that they will still be on your mind. That's number one. Number two, they probably want to still slowly bleed you dry of your energy. Now, if you divorce the narcissist, using this example, my heart goes out to you, because if you spent one day in a narcissistic marriage or relationship, it is the most challenging and trying experience known to humankind. But then again, any narcissistic relationship is the most challenging relationship known to humankind. But think about it. If you actually cut free, you divorce the narcissist, did the narcissist move away to a different state, city, town, country? They may have. But there's a very good chance that they didn't, that they moved in close to where you live. And the reason why another reason why, is because they want to stay close to your energy source. They know that the jig is up, the news is out, and you've figured out who they are, and you've deduced this, and you want nothing to do with them. But yet they still want to stay close to you because they're trying to drain your energy. Even though they're not married to you, even though they don't live under the same roof, they have no problem walking down the street, walking by your house, or perhaps dropping off a package to hoover you, or saying they left an old smelly sock in the house from 30 years ago, or asking how you're doing after they discarded you months later. Because the narcissist has no shame. They don't care about anybody but themselves, but yet they need an energy source. And this is when things go sideways for the narcissist. I'm going to focus on the divorcing the narcissist again for a moment. Let's say you did. And let's say when you were living with the narcissist, you had a great house, beautiful kids, the picket fence, all the whole 9 yards, all that. Okay, great. The narcissist blew up that relationship. We now know that because things need to always be destroyed by the narcissist. They weren't building and creating with you. They were trying to drive wedges and destroy you and the relationships with you, the kids, anything they could, your hobbies, your health, anything. Okay, having said that, then what happened? The narcissist had it really good with you. But where are they living right now? Are they renting out one room in a house down the street? Are they living in their mom's basement? Are they living on the road? Are they living in a car? Are they living with a strange bunch of other single people? Who knows where they're living? But the question here would be, why would they do what they did? Why would they leave a loving, stable relationship on your part, by the way, not on their part? Why would they blow that up when they had it all? They had everything. I'll tell you why. Because the narcissist cannot have stability. They look at your empathy and your kindness and your love as weak. and they got jaded and bored with it. They tried to take you down in the low vibrational quagmire state with them for good. They did not want you ever breaking the trauma bond. They did not want you figuring out who they were. They did not want you healing. But now they're isolated by themselves. And now they don't care where they're sleeping. They don't care where they put a roof over their head. They've never cared. You may say, well, no, they cared in the beginning. Yeah, they probably did in the beginning when they were wearing the mask and trying to future fake and acting like playing house was a fun thing. But the truth is, the narcissist, everything goes sideways for them. And that's why many times they will move or relocate in your same little city or town. It's not only because it's familiar, it's because they know that you are close by. Now listen, focus with me, pay attention here. If you broke the trauma bond, you need to understand that going back is not an option. Talking to these toxic people is not an option. Letting them know anything about you is not an option. Going no contact is the path. Becoming small is the path. The narcissist is doomed to exist in their tiny little feeble brain. They're doomed to repeat the cycle over and over and over again. You were in the narcissistic cycle for a length of time. You're out now. You're healing. You have either reached or you are headed towards that pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, when you don't care about the narcissist at all or anybody from that period of time who associates with the narcissist. Now, all the heavy lifting, all the tears, all the sleepless nights, all the crying, all the introspection, all the journaling, all the time speaking with a therapist, all of the meditation, all the videos you watched, everything you had to do to put yourself back together, that took a mountain of work. It wasn't done in a couple days or weeks. It took a long time for you to get back on your feet and enter the third version of yourself, the strongest, most galvanized version known to humankind. Once you've done all that work, you can't unsee what you've seen. And you understand it, and you look back at the narcissist in that relationship, and you scratch your head saying, wow, I can't believe I tolerated all that poor behavior. I can't believe that I made it out. I can't believe that I'm now in the third version of myself. But then you pause and you stop and you take stock and say, oh my gosh, look at how far I've come. And I put myself back together on my own when I was in a relationship with an enemy. I was in a relationship who was looking at me as an opportunity. I was in a relationship with someone who was trying to take me down for the count. They were trying to steal my abundance, my beautiful, bright, shining light, my energy, all my resources, my health, my children, my time, my money, my effort, everything. And they accomplished it until they didn't. Now, why I'm saying that is everything goes sideways for the narcissist. It always does. And why that happens is because they are destined to be a nomadic person with multiple sources of supply, multiple people to glom onto, multiple people to take advantage of, multiple people that they can play the victim with or that they can act like they're superior to. This is why the narcissist post-discard, many times, they will glom onto a new source of supply, but eventually, they usually, not usually, but at times they go back to their parents, if their parents are on the planet, or a brother or sister who is gonna take them in and lift them back up. And that person probably also is a narcissist or a toxic person. Because a person who knows that a narcissist was in their family or is in their family, in other words, they know a toxic person is in their family, and that person has been abused for decades or a lifetime, they're not gonna most likely open the front door and welcome in a complete dark energy force again so they can go through the cycle again. No, they themselves have wised up. So think about this one. When you think about a family, any family you want to, and there was a black sheep or a white sheep in the family, well, that person probably, let's take a person who was creating havoc and destruction. That person, their family members either A, supported them because they either felt bad for them or wanted to give them a chance and just kept on giving to a fault. Maybe they loved that person too much. Or B, they want nothing to do with that person no matter who it is because they have endured toxicity from the minute that child was born until right now, and they want nothing to do with them, so they go no contact, they block them. The narcissist is everywhere, and they were in your life for a period of time. They're no longer in your life, at least that's my hope, but everything will go sideways for the narcissist because they can't have stability, they can't have tranquility, they can't just be. This is why they are always on their smartphones. It's why they're always driving. It's why they're always traveling. They're always coming or going, or this is why they're always making plans and breaking them. Because when they're making plans and breaking them, let's say they did that with you in the past. Well, let's say they were going to pick you up Friday at 4 and you guys were going to go grab lunch and maybe see a movie or something. Okay, well, it was 3:30. What happened there? The narcissist, no call, no show. It's now 4:30 and they're nowhere to be found. Well, probably what happened is a better opportunity arose. And they didn't even have the courtesy to tell you they weren't going to show up because they don't care about you. They care about themselves. That's a tiny little microcosm of how the narcissist is. Now, if you flip that for a minute, If you were the person that called them and texted them at 3:45 and said you couldn't make it, you're stuck in traffic, what would they do? They would play the victim or throw a rage fit on you or say, hey, I've been here waiting for 2 hours. What are you talking about? You can't cancel on me. See, everything is about the narcissist. It's all about the narcissist. It was never about you, but this is also the conundrum. It's also why things go sideways for the narcissist, because the narcissist can't be authentic or genuine. They don't have the ability to just be. They need to be in a constant state of destruction, of pondering, of wondering, of manipulation, of telling little secrets and little lies and little fibs. This is what the narcissist does. And how they get supply, one way, is by feeding off of your energy, your emotional energy, your spiritual energy, your verbal words. This is why so frequently I hear that people experienced reactive abuse when they're in a toxic narcissistic relationship. In other words, the narcissist was laying on the gas pedal throughout the whole relationship, and one person, which probably was you, one day you couldn't take it. So you snapped, you stood up for yourself, you called the narcissist out and you said, hey, I didn't sign up for this behavior. What are you doing? You treat everyone else relatively okay, but you keep on hammering me and you're abusing me, and I seem to not be able to do anything right, and you're spending less and less time with me. What's going on here? Well, as soon as you did that, what happened? The narcissist would double down, throw another rage fit at you, and you couldn't take it. And then probably what would happen is you yelled or screamed or reacted, because that's why it's called reactive abuse. Next thing you know, boom, they look at you and say, see, I told you. You're exactly what I thought you were. You can't control your emotions. You can't control yourself. You're so weak. You're so pitiful. I knew I shouldn't have married you. Your mom told me I shouldn't have ever even entered a relationship with you. You're so worthless. Like, what's your problem? Because the narcissist is trying to drop their toxicity into you. And that's essentially what reactive abuse is, but that's for a whole different video. The whole point for this video is why things go sideways for the narcissist, because that's their destiny. That's how it has to be. That's what they like. Remember, the narcissist likes supply, negative or positive supply. It doesn't matter as long as it is fueling them and they're watching other people's lives implode or not go the way the trajectory that the life should be going. That's why the narcissist blows up birthdays, barbecues, holidays, graduations, weddings, funerals, births of children, holidays. They blow up anything they can. When you get a promotion or a pay raise, when you just had a great accomplishment in your life, they try to blow up anything possible if it's not about them. That's why getting away from these people is the path. That's why understanding that your energy is priceless. It's so valuable. You cannot give one more second of your energy to the narcissist. Let the narcissist shrivel up and fade away. Let them go down the path, their destiny, which is to become the aging narcissist and to be isolated all on their own when their own children won't talk to them, when the people that they surrounded themselves with for decades have run for the hills, when people have exposed them or understood who they were. And I'm saying, anyone on the video, on the channel, do not expose the narcissist. I'm saying when the narcissist gets exposed, because they will shoot themselves in the foot, and they are very overconfident, and they believe that they're smarter than everybody. And people are waking up to this. People are wising up. They're finally identifying that, wow, this person who we always gave mulligans to because, oh, it's just so-and-so, you know, they're from that country, or that's just the way they are. No, those days are long over, people. These are now the days of accountability. The days of inaccountability were when you were in the relationship. Now the days of accountability are here. You need to embrace them. You need to hold people to their words and their actions. And if they don't, the words and actions don't match up, just remove yourself from the relationship, because there are so many people on the planet trying to take advantage of other individuals, specifically people who don't know their worth and their value. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the rainy Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. And things will always go sideways for the narcissist. This is their destiny. They need to blow up relationships. They need to manipulate, and they need to take advantage of anybody who can provide anything for them. Guys, it's really starting to rain again. I'm going to go. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye. It's really raining. Oh, my gosh.